shooting from a cannon. Mid-flight, here to recite, I ain't landing. Handles like a vandal at night, you can't grab it. Fire underneath my hood is outstanding. Blast through a wall of bricks like Superman did. Ain't nothing holding me back but me standing. So I'ma take off right now from this planet. The new sound has been found in yo. I don't know.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL playoffs brings us to the Pacific Northwest, the home of the 12s, and they are in full roar as you get a look inside Lumen Field in Seattle. The second of 3 games here on this Sunday. We continue with Super Wild Card Weekend here on EA Sports. And this opening dynamic kickoff not going to be returned. It'll come out to the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Let's go.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Brings up 2nd and 17 at the 23-yard line.
So an early wake-up call there leads to a quick 2nd and long. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. That's going to be taken in by Downs. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
Yeah, big play there. And when you have a running back that you can use like a wide receiver, when he has that kind of versatility, you do as they did there. Get him out of the backfield and give those defensive backs something else to worry about.
And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning it in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. I think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder.
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. Dancing to his left. And they're able to stop him short. On 3rd and 6, they'll only pick up 4.
That looked great when he first took off because, in my mind, there was room to run, and he had the marker in his sight. But I certainly didn't expect him to close so quickly, and neither did he. They got to him just in time, and now that forced him to make a decision with his 4th down call.
And with the play clock reading 4, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on fourth. And they'll send the tight end in motion left. Here comes the blitz as they look to throw. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on fourth. 4th and 2, they got it. That was kind of that gray area. Is that a feel thing, whether you go run or pass there offensively?
I think it's a feel thing. It's a tendency thing about what you like to do yourself on offense, as well as knowing how strong they are against the run on defense. Got to make a decision, and they made the correct one.
Well, Juju Brents comes up for the stop.
Now that's the type of play that'll fire up the defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
Let's go now. Go.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2.
When a drive goes this long, you have to give a lot of credit to the guys up front, those big fellas, because the offensive line is putting something together that allows them to continue to control the ball. And I know a lot of people think they get fatigued on a long drive. Actually, a lot of times the reverse happens. They actually get energized because they're controlling the ball, and they're the ones dictating to the defense.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. It'll be a sack and a loss of 3, but more importantly, it brings up 4th down. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this will remain a scoreless game.
Partner, doesn't seem like it, but that's a tough spot for a kicker. First drive of the game, and they're calling on him. He should be warmed up. He should be into the game, but sometimes it's almost like, oh, what, now already? Can't they put it in the end zone? What's going on here?
Yeah, he's probably saying, if you can't get it in the end zone, can you give me a 30, 40-yarder? A long one, and he can't connect. So the missed 56-yarder, and now the flip side. Good starting field position at the 46 near midfield. A run for the first time with Bijan Robinson. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
Good running right there. And this is a man who was a 1,000-yard rusher in the regular season, so you know he's going to get his chances, and he picks up nice yardage on that one.
Back to Robinson now on first down. And fights through one man. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 15 yards, first down Atlanta. Solid running there. And, CD, we hear so much about what it takes to win in the playoffs. Most people like to include having a strong running game in their assessment. And with this man in the backfield, this group has a strong running game without a doubt.
Oh, I absolutely agree with you there, because in terms of yardage, he's a top.
And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Bijan Robinson, 28 yards. And the Falcons will strike first here in this wild card matchup. I think that's the dream start right there. The defense stands up on the opening drive, then they go right down the field and score.
It's a positive start for your offense and your defense. And when you're talking about playoff football, what a great way to get things going.
Everything is magnified and amped up a little bit more,
to put it mildly.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And they were in field goal range the last time out but couldn't connect.
And it's early in the game, so I don't think that the confidence just goes entirely out of, running your kicker back out there. But let's face it, some coaches have a little bit less patience for that than others. Let's see if they call the game differently now in terms of what they do on drives and not try and settle for field goals.
Line of scrimmage, the 24. This is 2nd and 6. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And he'll get about 2 there to the 36.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
Here is 3rd down and 4. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
2 drives won't tell the story of this game, but you absolutely have to like how this defense has played thus far. They have yet to allow this offense to get on track in this one.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. He'll return it from the 6. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. And look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Penix working out of the gun here. It's complete to Robinson. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Looking to throw, Penix. Open man is Kyle Pitts, his tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. First catch of this wild card game for a 1,000-yard receiver in the regular season. He's got a first down, too. Robinson on a give right side. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Play fake, and they'll throw with Penix. Looking there for Pitts, but intercepted. And the Seahawks are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. So this defense coming up with a takeaway, and maybe that's something that can bring a little life to that sideline.
Well, I don't want to say that they've been sleepwalking through this first half, because that's simply not true, but you're right. We haven't seen a lot of fire from these guys, really, on either side of the ball. So maybe that's the catalyst that they needed to get them back into this game.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Looking to get it to Ward. Intercepted. Well, their defense got him the football with an interception. They trot out there, Charles, in the very first play. They give the football right back.
Brandon, I almost expect you coming like an auctioneer. We've got 2, we got 2. Do I hear 3? Remember, it was 2 in a row. Would we hit 3 in a row? Because these offenses, they got to be a little bit more careful as they go forward. These defenders, they're locked in and really focused.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Be Bijan Robinson with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Falcons are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And it's now 14-0. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Out of the gun, Walker with it. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Walker. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and it'll be second down.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
Open man is Barner, the tight end. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. It's a gain of 34.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far. And never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And the Seahawks are going to be looking at first and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
Walker. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. Second and goal from the 1. Walker once more. And he will not get in. In fact, he might have lost a yard. Back to the 2. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
This defense has really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else.
And this time he is in. Ken Walker taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Seahawks have cut it back within a score. Extra point splits the uprights. And that'll make our score 14-7. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. 2 minutes to play here in this first half of the NFL playoffs. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
This one into the hands of Pitts. Look at the big fella go. Touchdown, Falcons. Kyle Pitts, 57 yards. And the Falcons have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Koo able to connect on the extra point, and it's now 21-7. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Flush to his right. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up second down. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number one. 2nd and 10.
Let's go now.
He'll look to throw. This is Fant on the short completion. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle.
First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
They'll drop to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. Now the Seahawks forced to use their third and final timeout as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number one. They'll look to throw now on first down. That's going to be caught. Touchdown, Seahawks. Jackson Smith and Jigba. A 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Seahawks get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. And now it's blocked. Look at the big man rumble. But he will not be able to bring this one back, and the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
I know it's easy to kind of shrug off a blocked extra point, but this game is shaping up to be a tight one. The second half, this could prove crucial.
Yeah, we might look back on this one. We'll have to wait and see. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that could change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
They don't want to repeat a first down. They'll keep it on the ground. There he goes again. He's on his way. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
So his big first half continues. His third touchdown already. We'll have to keep watch as this game goes along, how much they want to continue to ride him, because he could be on his way to a record-setting performance. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And the lead is up to 15 now. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. One of these two teams about to play their final half of the season as we're back at it in this NFC wildcard bout. And we will not see a return of the dynamic kickoff, and the first drive of the second half will commence from the 30-yard line. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And they've been the better of the two teams through 2 quarters of play, much to the chagrin of this home crowd.
Yeah, this score is a surprise to a lot of folks at home, although not to my dad. He predicted the visitors would win. And maybe to the folks in the stadium. But you know who is not a surprise to, partner? This team with the football. They were very confident coming in.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
To the air, Penix. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Robinson. Calling a gain of 3 on the play. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
This one hauled in, and again it's Robinson. And he is going to have a Falcons first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
161 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
After another impressive run, the question has to be asked, how do you slow these guys down running the football? I think they're going to try and get more people to the point of attack, try and get more people to the line of scrimmage, almost use a variety of run blitzes in order to try and get it done.
They nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37. 10 yards there and a first down for the Falcons. Robinson with another carry. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
And in a situation like this, you're in the second half with the lead, trying to get to the division round. They're going to let him do his thing on the ground, and that's a great run there to pick up a first down.
Robinson up the middle. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
2nd and 7. Robinson, he'll try the left side. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority, because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
This red zone is where the Seahawk crowd really makes it tough for an offense to communicate. It's 3rd down. They'll throw with Penix. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And the Falcons are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
Oh, nice job there putting the ball right in the doorstep for the goal line. Couldn't quite get in to pay dirt, but he got awfully close. Let's see if they can cash it in over the next couple of plays.
Robinson will score. Touchdown, Atlanta. Now Younghoe Koo for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Up the middle they run. It's Walker. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. They'll look to throw here on first down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 19 yards there on the catch and run. Very nicely done there on the reception, and what an impact this rookie made on this offense, Charles, in the regular season.
Yeah, he's a big part of why they are where they are. He stepped into an important role, embraced it, and in a lot of ways expanded it, and immediately made a connection with his quarterback.
That is taken in by the tight end Fant. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. A very solid gain of 27.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
Here's Walker. A good display of power, but it will only get him just inside the 5 to the 4. 2nd and 4. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. From 4 yards out. And the Seahawks are able to get a score back in the final stages of this 3rd quarter. And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2.
The Seahawks will line up for the 2-point conversion.
They'll look to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line.
It's interesting that when it comes to 2-point conversions, even heavy run teams tend to throw the ball in these situations. In this case, this one was intercepted.
Yeah, they weren't fooled. They were ready for the pass, picked it off. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, the fact you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Falcons. They've got the football. They've got the lead as we get set to start the 4th. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 36. They'll run this one right with Robinson. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win. Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today. Over the middle, complete. It's Wilson.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. And looking to throw, Penix. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete.
Going for the knockout blow right there. I think if I'm up 2 scores, I'd be worried about an interception, but playing this way is what got him this lead. So you may as well ride it out to the end.
And he missed it. It's no good. And this will stay a 2-score game at 16. Now this one now not over yet, Charles. You've got a sliver of hope on that other sideline.
Certainly do, because that would have made it a 3-score game, and that probably would have been curtains at that point. But now if they can get down the field quickly and somehow get the ball back one more time, we may have a different ball game.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They are most likely staring at a cold end to their season here in this wild card round. Nothing has gone right so far, and they are, to be frank, in desperation mode now as they begin with a 1st and 10. 15 yards there on the catch and run. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Back to throw now on 1st down. Left side, he finds Smith and Jigba. Sheds off the tackle. And he's going to be taken down, but there's a penalty flag in the backfield. Is this a hold, or did they rough the quarterback? Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. A great effort there. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Seahawks are able to cut into that deficit. So this back now to a 10-point spread, and you have to imagine they'll line up and go for 2.
Oh, no question about it. If they can get this to an 8-point game, they can make things awfully interesting here in these last few minutes.
They'll try and throw for it. And they're going to get the 2. It's caught. So they get the conversion, and now we're back to a 1-score game. So the lead trimmed down to 8 as here comes the kickoff, and it's away. And not willing to risk a return, this ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And this a very important drive leading in the 4th quarter of this wild card game. But this one far from over as they start out here 1st down. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it. And the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked by Julian Love. And he'll bring it back to the 9-yard line. A seismic shift in momentum here in the 4th quarter. That's the break that the defense needed.
And you know as well as I do, people are going to question the play call in that situation. Sometimes you have to question the execution, not necessarily the call. And in this case, those defenders found a way to give their team a chance.
First and goal, a touchdown and a 2-point conversion here are musts.
Here we go.
They'll set up to throw. Quick hitter here. It's complete. Down at the 2. Broke through first contact, but ultimately stopped shy of the goal line. A gain of 7 that time. Second goal. Right there, he rose to the occasion late in a close game.
It's something he thought about, dreamed about, and worked on throughout his career. Because in these types of situations, he will...
And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Kenneth Walker with his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Seahawks have a chance to tie things up as they trail by 2 here in the 4th. Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion. He'll look to throw. But he is not going to make it. It's a big play by the defense, and they're going to hold on to their 2-point lead. So the lead shaved to 2 now as the kickoff is away. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30.
At their own 30-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. I'm curious to see, Charles, about the play calling on this drive. Last time out, the interception that led to a touchdown. Here we are. I mean, and look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. This game, it's been defensively oriented on both sides, so I guess it stands to reason that the play of the game comes on defense.
So it's my kind of game. You know that.
That's
anytime
right.
we have
That's
a
right.
defensive battle, but that, as you said, it stands to reason that's the way the game tilted. Someone had to make a big play, and the way the defenses were dominating, that's exactly what we got.
All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come. They're going to look to throw. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. And he takes it all the way back. It's a pick 2, if you will, as head play backfires in a big way. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback. And we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. If they want to advance in this divisional round, look, obviously the time is now. Trailing here in the 4th. As they go to work on a crucial drive, 1st and 10. Now a handoff to start it out. Robinson. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Now that's a run that warms a play caller's heart because you're actually set up to do whatever you want on offense. You can come right back and run essentially the same play because you have momentum. Or you can fake that running play and throw something deep over the top. Or you now feel like you have an extra down to play with. Because if you go ahead and just throw it and you don't get it, come back and try and pick it up on 3rd down.
That's out wide here for Robinson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Straight ahead, it's Robinson. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Now 2nd and 9. Here's Penix. And this will be caught by Mooney. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
No tougher place to be in a spot like this than Seattle. Here's 3rd down. Now Penix. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 23. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
2 minutes remain, and that's our score differential as well. 2 points here in the 4th quarter. Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. Back to the ground with Robinson. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball, then limit that gain.
Second down, 8 yards to go. They'll run again here with Robinson. And now all of a sudden the shoe's kind of on the other foot. Maybe you pull the reins back here a bit?
Yeah, a little bit, because you got to make sure that you don't score too quickly.
Now 1st and goal. They'll run with Robinson. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Robinson. Going to be hit and met at the line of scrimmage. They get him down at the 3. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. This crowd doing all they can. Here's 3rd and goal. They'll try and run. This is Robinson. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. Koo knocks this one through the post. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. All right, so time to reset here. It's a huge kick there, gives them the lead, but they've got to be careful that their celebrations aren't a little too premature.
You're exactly right about that, because there still is time for the other guys to run a few plays and get into field goal position. So this defense is going to need to come up with one final stop if they're going to get out of here with a victory.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel...
Oh, and that's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is intercepted. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line.
At the 48-yard line.
They go down to a knee, and that will do it. They are moving on here in the playoffs. They said beginning of the season they wanted to get past the wild card round. Well, they just got past the wild card round.
How about that, being able to put the big check marks up in the locker room, right? Yeah, you know. Get to the wild card game. Check. Got that done. Win a wild card game. Big check.
To win. To